nowhere to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make the change. Na 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 na. I want a picture of a special kind of love. This wind is blowing my mind. See the kids on the street, ain't got enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A broken bottle top, anyone can see. They follow each other on the wind, you see. 'Cause they got nowhere to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and just make that change. Ooh, la la la, la la la. Favorite MJ album is Bad. But that's just childhood shit. Like, my sister and I listened to Bad every single fucking day. And we got to see Michael on the Bad tour, which was mind-blowing, awesome. One of my clearest and earliest memories, getting to see Michael Jackson when I was about 7 or 8. Should I do a Michael Jackson song for karaoke? I'm about to sign up for a song at the karaoke bar. Yeah, dude, you should do, I mean, it's a tough song, but Human Nature. Reaching out into the nighttime. Electric eyes are everywhere. See that girl? Psh, she knows I'm watching. She likes the way I stare. And they say, why? Tell him that it's human nature. Why does she do me that way? That's the one, dude. That's my favorite Michael song, though. Away. You look like you have a little itty bitty one. I mean, yeah, kind of. It's definitely not the most impressive schlong you've ever seen, I'll tell you that much. But it does its job. See that girl, she knows I'm watching. Is it weird that we all know the size of his donker? People be asking me about it, so I just tell them. There's no need to brag about more than you've got, you know? Why aren't you a wizard in the woods, living in the woods in a giant mushroom? Because fucking housing prices, you know? Have you taken a look at like rent on a giant mushroom these days? It used to be fucking cheap. Not anymore. It is Radagast. Hello, Poland. Howdy, howdy. She knows I'm watching. She likes the way I stare. And they say, why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does she do me that way? But the last great science, well, I read a couple. There was Project Hail Mary, which was really good. And then, of course, like the Three Body Problem. Three Body Problem is probably the best sci-fi I've read in like 10 years. Easily one of the best. Missing out on hurricane season? Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not missing out on anything, bro. You guys can have them hurricanes. What is TJ's Discord? It's discord.gg/TJHive. TJHIVE, all one word. And it should be free to just join. I don't think you need like a invite code or anything. But it is in, I think it's listed in the description of our videos. I think, maybe? I know it's in his. What's the worst book you've ever read? The worst book? I mean, there's been a couple that I've finished out of spite. But as far as like the worst, it's tough. Never categorized the worst. Yeah, I mean, I did read Eternal Undying Love. I did. I read it cover to cover, too. That's a pretty bad fucking book. Yeah, dude. Eternal Undying Love, 3 Serpents in the Cradle. Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss. Oh, good old Dr. Seuss. So what's the call on banning BK references now that DP is back around? I mean, like, I can't really be a dick about it and go on the, go on DP and talk about Brett and be, like, super harsh with people making Brett references and shit. You know, as long as they're not being, like, total retards about it, I'd let it happen for a while. People are excited, you know. Hey, somebody linked me. It was fucking hilarious. Somebody linked me to a couple of posts that a couple dudes from the Paul hate community on Reddit. For those of you that don't know, I have the dubious honor of having 5, count them, 5 hate subreddits dedicated to me. I've been told that this might be close to a record for a guy that of my, popularity, because I'm not very popular. I'm not like a super famous guy or anything. But I've got 5 subreddits that hate my guts, right? It's literally like constant Paul posting 24/7, 365. What did I do? Fucking dropped my hair thing. God damn it. What? There we go. Okay. That'll be fine. And, these dudes that literally camp this place these places 24/7 posting about me, like, tried to escape their little range and went to the Destiny subreddit and posted some shit about me there, they were like, Paul doesn't believe in Anne Frank. And there was a couple of them that went over there and posted. But they forgot that, they forgot that Reddit has this, this thing where you can see somebody's post history. And I guess people checked it, and both of the threads that they ended up starting ended up being threads calling out how obsessive they are about me. It was fucking great, dude. There's like the dude in there. One of the dudes has got like nothing but Paul posts and posts in different subreddits about his small penis and how hard done by he is in the world because he was born with a tiny dick. It was unbelievable that dude decided to like try and post anything about anybody. It was fucking hilarious. Somebody linked me to it and they were like, this one blew up. It's like, yeah, I guess so. Sometimes shit just works itself out. It was like 8 days ago and I didn't even see it. You know what I mean? Of course, they didn't publicize it because it didn't go the way they wanted. Somebody linked me. I was like, holy fuck, bro. All the comments on their posts are just like, this person is a schizo. Look at this post history. Jesus Christ. I think social media has broken people. Look at these fucking weirdos. It's like, you guys need to keep it in your own little community. Your weird boner obsession doesn't play well outside of that little fucking place. doesn't come off as well as you might think it would. What a bunch of wankas. It's pretty fun though. It's pretty fun. I like cruising through there once or twice a week just to see what they're up to. I stopped posting in there, and so it's pretty much died. Like over the last week, I haven't posted anything in there. And like it went from having like 20 posts a day to like, I looked today and the last post was like 22 hours ago. I was like, damn. Reaching out. Poltergeist is such a great name. I know. Are you gonna do any debates? Any debates? With who? Man, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind like talking to people, but I'm not a big debater. I happen to think that debating is, you know, a pretty strictly defined thing. You got like a moderator and an audience, and you got time limits and an agreed upon topic and all of that. I think a lot of what people call I don't know. There was a sentence coming out there somewhere and then it just evaporated from my mind, so we'll just pretend it didn't happen. Paul, do you feel the same way you view someone like Bill Maher now compared to back in the day might happen to you one day in terms of losing touch with his audience and not realizing it? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I somehow doubt I'll ever be like rich enough to lose touch in the same way that Bill Maher did, but I saw The Return of Paul's Ego by Drunken Peasants listed on IP2 Network. Oh, uh-oh. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, I did talk a lot about IP2 stuff. I'm a casual observer of that strange world. My intuition is telling me you're good. Yeah, I'm a decent guy. I can be a bit of an asshole, but who can't, you know? But I'm okay. I'm an alright guy. IP2 is like a live streaming group that's based around Ice Poseidon. It's like an IRL live streamer. So IP stands for Ice Poseidon. And they do streams where they basically go out into public and make asses of themselves and try and get into fights and try and get people mad in public, and they just run around, get drunk, and then eventually they all meet up back at a dirty, dingy RV. You know what I mean? Why are you talking about CX? Because it's just fun. Like, I don't know. I've had fun looking at that weird little world, you know? That strange world of like alt-right weirdos that travel around together on a big bus and stink. People that are always nice freak me out. Yeah. It always comes off as like covertly hostile to me, even if it isn't. When somebody's just like, you know, incredibly nice for no reason, you know. Dude, if you can find the pizza bagel place, you gotta let me know what it is, because I fucking don't know. I got itch beard. I've got the itch beard going on. There's a weird thing with your beard. It like doesn't even really itch. It just feels good to like get your fingers in there sometimes. Because it's like your face is full of these like nerve endings, and the hair like blocks some of that. I don't know. People pleasers are terrifying people. Oh? Terrified? Why are you so scared of a people pleaser, bud? They're pretty easy to understand people. A little misled, but pretty easy to understand. I don't know why you'd be terrified by one. Itch beard, yeah. Itch head in general. I think I might have the lice, dude. No, it's just my hair's very like thick. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as having a bunch on your face. It's like doesn't even really itch, but it just feels good to like stimulate the scalp, move the hair around on it. I'm just gonna sit here and itch my head and let you guys watch it. This will be like the head scratching ASMR. One of the best feelings in the world is when somebody, like when you've got long hair and somebody comes and puts their hands in it and just like scalp massages it up. This is the context I come here for. That's right. Probably because people pleasers are double types of emotionally feeble people are prone to explode and betray due to pent-up resentment, etc. It's easy for that type of person to hold long grudges. Yeah. It's easy for a lot of types of people to hold long grudges, though. It's not just people pleasers. There are a lot of personality types that are prone to that kind of thing. My hair smells good, though. It smells like conditioner. People pleasers are one among many. That much is true. Oh boy. Spino, please. You're out here pretending to be smart again, and nobody thinks you're smart. Have you ever had sleep paralysis? I had it last night. Shit was not cool. I have had it, yeah. It's been a long time since I've had it, but I have had it before. Pretty fucked. Oh, you think TJ is Spino and Spino is TJ? Okay. Gotcha, Spino. Gotcha, Spino. Finkel is Einhorn and Einhorn is Finkel. That is true. What's your hair routine? I'm a 35-year-old woman. You've got me beat. Really though? Nah, dude, my hair is pretty raggedy. I just use conditioner and shampoo, and I wash like 2 times a week. Try not to, you can't wash it every time because it just makes it all dry and shit. Just brush it in the morning, brush it in the evening. That's about it. I had a friend say her paralysis demon tried to pull her out of bed. It was the first time that's happened. Oh. If you got super famous and rich, do you think it would change you at all? Oh yeah. I would immediately disavow everybody that I knew when I was poor and say, fuck those bitches. And then I'd become completely, like, full of myself and unwatchable. But I'd be rich, so it wouldn't matter. What? My aura. Oh, okay. Can I live on the compound? I mean, I don't know, Brianna. You have shown signs of dissent in the past. I feel like you would not be happy with the life of humble servitude that the children of the salt provides. I feel like you would eventually resent the salt. I sense much fear in you. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hatred leads to suffering. And suffering leads to the dark side. I sense much fear in you. Valar Morghulis. You shouldn't be saying those words out in public, bro. You never know when you're going to bump into somebody who knows what they mean. I'm definitely a face dancer. Do you read Sutter-Kane? He sees you. He sees you. How about I have a competing compound that threatens the sovereignty of yours? See, you're showing your true colors already. Showing your true colors already would be like inviting the poison pill into my camp. I knew it. See? Got to get up pretty early in the morning to get one over on Paul's ego. Feeling yourself disintegrate. Feeling yourself disintegrate. I'm trying to get as stoned as me. It's never gonna happen. Only a few of us can get stoned enough to touch the face of God. I'm dumb enough to walk into a store and steal, so I'm dumb enough to ask for a date with Lauryn Hill. Some people only see that I'm white, ignoring skill because I stand out like a green hat with an orange bill. But I don't get pissed. Y'all can't even see through the mist. How the fuck can I be white when I don't even exist? I get a clean shave, bathe, go to a rave, die from an overdose, and dig myself up out of my grave. If you had 15 seconds to come up with a new first and last name for yourself, what would they be? Xavier Jones. Yeah, Xavier Jones. Sounds like a superhero. I've always liked cool guy names because I feel like I got the shittiest guy named Paul.
I mean, it's not the shittiest. You just think it's an indistinct.
It is. It's a very. It's a fucking. Just another apostle name. Parky is worse than Paul. Nah, Parky's pretty good. Parky is a variation of Park. It's an old Scottish name. And Irish. I think it became Irish when it moved from Scotland to Ireland. By the time my Irish great-grandfather came here, he was a Parky.
A lot of people change their names at Ellis Island, too.
Mm-hmm. My mom's side of the family, when they came through Ellis, changed their last name from Macbean to just Bean. Because having that Mac or Mick in front of your name was seen to be negative at the time. So instead of Park and Bean, or Park and McBean, my ancestor names are Parky and Bean.
How would you feel if your name was Paul Bean?
Paul Bean? I would definitely probably just change it and put the Mac back on.
Yeah.
Because Bean is pretty rough. But McBean sounds okay to me. But Vito Andolini from Corleone. Vito Corleone. Unless you're related to Sean Bean. Yeah, that's true. I wonder if I am. I must be. Like, by, like, you know, distant cousins or something.
You ever contacted any of your relatives on 23andMe or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I found a bunch. Bunch of people would, like, contacted me asking if I had family members of this, that, and the other. They're trying to fill out their own tree. And I was able to help a few of them with it. Found a couple of, like, distant cousins and shit. My racist uncle had a dog named Beaner. Yeah. People do tend to, like, name their animals racist little things. Or, like, they used to, I guess. Maybe not so much anymore.
Cricket's name origin's a little racist.
Yeah. I think so.
It's one of them old-timey racisms that most people wouldn't pick up on.
Moon cricket. Yep. That's an oldie one. I know a guy named Smokey Briquette. Cool. That's a pretty deep. Like he should start like a barbecue company. Smokey Briquette's barbecue. Yeah, the H.P. Lovecraft's cat had an interesting name. Lovecraft is such an interesting case study. And there's a story by him called what is it called? I'm fucking drawing a blank. It's about a cult that takes root in Rhode Island, in this little town that's for rich people, or used to be for rich people, and it's basically just a horror story about brown people moving in. Rats in the Walls is good, yeah. I mean, I love his writing and stuff, but he was like a profoundly maladapted person. Yeah, I'm a fan of Ligotti. I'm Not Done, and A Conspiracy Against the Human Race. Get out of here, you. Oh. Oh, to the will. I get brownies and you don't. So suck it. My wife's making brownies. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. Harry, you're a wizard. I think I would have been a better Hagrid. Harry, you're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. What the fuck? You're a wizard. Harry, you're a wizard. You are a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. A wizardy wizard. A grizzledy wizard. You'd be better as the bathroom goblin. The bathroom one. I don't remember which one was the bathroom one. I'm a what? Dobby. All right, let's stop. Can we not? Hey, Paul, what do you think of Iran's imminent attack on Israel? I think it was inevitable. Inevitable, yeah. I think Israel has been trying to draw the United States into a wider Middle East conflict in their name for a long time, and I think they're pretty close to succeeding. This is, of course, while everybody's asleep at the wheel, cheering for Kamala Harris. Yeah, chat is real fucking bad right now. I think you have contributed to that, though, Brianna. You have brought your mischievous energy into the chat. Shut up, I'm speaking. Shut up, I'm speaking. If you want Donald Trump to win, keep saying that, but otherwise, shut up, I'm speaking. Excuse me. You guys hear that? A little gas. A little gas for you. Just a little extra for you tonight. Everybody's got to equalize pressure every once in a while, okay? But I'm far too old to hide it anymore. You stole my cigarette. Do you think DFF will ever become really popular in the future? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. I think it's a niche show with a strong, dedicated audience, but I don't ever see it being like a multi-million-dollar property or whatever. Multi-million subscriber property, if that. Oh, shit. That being said, I wouldn't turn down a development deal. You look homeless? I do. You haven't seen a lot of homeless folks, have you? How nice for you. She looks out at the man on the street. She says, "Sir, can you help me?" Said it's cold and I've nowhere to sleep. Let me touch your beard? No. You don't get to touch my beard. It makes me sad when people say shit like that. Because number one, being homeless is not something that you should like be called out for. Number two, I don't look homeless. I've got way too much meat on my bones. I've got clean hair. I've got a nice clean t-shirt on. Those things are luxuries that homeless people cannot afford. So it always makes me sad. When people use homelessness as a pejorative. I used to work in fast food and had 3 coworkers who were homeless during 40-hour a week living in tents. Yeah, yep. Yeah. No, it's common now, unfortunately. Whoa. Whoa. Weed, please. Oh. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. It smells good. It smells like beard oil and Zaza. Are you okay? Dude, have you ever smoked weed before? Because if you've never smoked weed, you should probably stop asking people that question when they cough. What's your thoughts on world peace, bro? Yeah, dude, I like it. I like the idea. I think we should do that. Why don't we all do that? Why don't we all just do the world peace thing, you know? Seems like it would be a smart thing to do at this point. It's a textbook weed cough, I know. He's better off without your response, Thomas. Huh? What state are you from? I'm from California. What state are you from? I'm one of those guys that freaked out the first time I smoked weed. I mean, you know, whatever. It sucks. It sucks to be that guy. I'm glad I was not that guy. I took the weed like a duck to water. It was immediately apparent that I was supposed to be doing this. I was 13 and I discovered my true purpose. Smoke weed. Favorite Green Day album, Dookie. What was your first high like? I smoked a bowl. My friend Morgan's dad had a collection of old kind of like 70s and 80s pipes and bongs and stuff. And the first time I got high on a ceramic hand that was like this. It looked like a flipped finger. The bowl was in the palm, and you hit it here and carved it out here. So it was like, so we hit that. Took a couple big rips off of that. And then my friend was like, I'm gonna cook us some food. And at that point, it just like, I ended up like I was on the couch. I was like, He was like, yeah, dude, food tastes great when you're stoned. And he's like making up some top ramen. And I was like, huh? Food? How do we eat? It was good stuff. It do be like that. Did you say that you're addicted to weed? Probably, yeah. Like not physically, but like psychologically. It is, it's pretty apparent to me that I've got some things, you know, I've got a little bit too much of a dependency on weed. But, you know, the alternative is foregoing one of the medications that helps me, you know. It helps me to like cope and deal with things. But, you know, I don't know. My brain is a mess. So whatever I have to do to pilot it, I do, you know. How much do you spend on weed a year? Fuck if I know, bro. It's good for anxiety. Yeah, well, I mean, the most damaging of my mental health problems is my anxiety disorder, and so weed is a double-edged sword when it comes to anxiety. It can be, yeah. It can make it worse, it can make it better. Just depends. You ever bugged out? Like, gotten too high and freaked out? No. Like, in terms of, like, calling the ambulance or going to the hospital or something? No. I've known some people. I've known some people that have gone through that mess, but not I, McFly. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be Paul's ego. You guys should review some of the new Disney trailers. Nope, can't do it. Can't review trailers. Can't review trailers. Can't watch movie trailers because they will get taken down. Scotty likes to forget that every once in a while, and then we're reminded and we have to remove a movie trailer. Like, Scotty for a goal will be like, I pulled 6 movie trailers. And we're like, okay. And then we end up having to remove 5 of them. Paul, if you could break away from anything in your life, physically, spiritually, or mentally, what would it be? Break away from anything? I don't know, bro. I don't know about that question. He looks so much like me ex. Are you German? No. Scottish Irish. Scottish Irish, lassie. No German. Yeah, I don't get the like monetizing trailers and like taking down anybody who looks at a trailer. I don't get that. It's like free advertising. Like you created a commercial for your movie and people want to show it. And you're like, no. It's like, okay. Thank God you're my first ex. No, I'm not. We never dated, lady. Trust me, I'd remember. I've got a low body count, okay? I would remember if you and I had hooked it up. Just wanted to send much love, Paul. I'm too high to send anything coherent. That's good. Thank you. The woman is mad. Mad, I tell you, mad. Yeah, this is a pretty tragic chat tonight, I'm gonna say. This is feeling like a failure launch night. Are the Kirks easy to work with? Yeah. Play me in Marvel versus Capcom 2. No. Play me in Tekken, though. I'll fucking 2-0 you. Bang, bang. Over. Next. Paul, did you cry at the end of the Terminator 2 movie? I did not. Based on your live content, you gain a ton of followers. What's your secret? Just being yourself. Yeah. I don't know. I think that like a lot of people do this because they want followers. I don't really care. I do it because I have fun doing it. I do it when I want to do it. There's no like schedule for it or anything. And I think people just appreciate like, I don't know. Like I like to think that when people like discover this, they appreciate that I'm just vibing and I'm not really trying to like monetize every second of everything I do. I'm not asking people for donos. I'm not like try-harding some video game. I'm just talking. I think there's like precious few people that do that now. Thor. Thor. Yeah, buddy. Thor. Could I come on stream again sometime? No. Never. Not a chance. Where are you from? From Cali. Cali. West Coast, Best Coast, all of that, blah, 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 blah. I appreciate your genuine, conscious flow on these lives. Yeah. Yeah. Right? I think that conversation is a lost art. Or a dying art at the very least. And I think that these types of conversations are some of the hardest ones to have. It's like tonight, man, I feel lost talking to you guys. I feel like I can't lock in. Everything's all over the place, you know? That happens sometimes. It doesn't mean it's a bad live, it just means I'm not in my element tonight. Let's put it that way. Sometimes these things just lock in, and other times they just don't, you know? What are supposed to talk about, Paul? Jesus Christ. Whew. Go read a fucking book. That's what I want to talk to you about, bro. Crack a book and read it. Use like autocorrect to add, like, get that, whatever that is, that Grammarly thing, install it on your phone immediately. It's free. And it'll make sure that you never type a retarded comment ever again. It doesn't have like periods or punctuation. It's like full blown unga bunga. Yeah, dude, full blown. You ain't even kidding, bro. Full blown unga bunga, bro. And it drives me nuts. And it's free too. That's what bugs me. It's like, it'd be one thing if you had to pay $10 or something for an app to fix all your grammar, but it's like free. And it'll do it for free. You know what I mean? And so it's like you choose to look retarded. Because all you would have to do is take like 5 seconds and click the app store and go like Grammarly and get it. But you don't do it. So you like, you go around and people that can read and write and communicate think you're retarded. Whatever. I guess that's cool. Yeah, that is one of the tough parts about this, though. I will tell you that. It gets annoying. Because, like, I guess I'm just a grammar, I'm like one of those grammar Nazi fucks. I when a person can't communicate, I just have a very hard time looking past it. I can't communicate on the level that I would expect like a 4th grader, you know, with like commas, periods, capitalization, mostly correct spelling and syntax and stuff, like that type of shit. Like I was able to write that way in the 4th grade. And I feel like I talk to a gang of people who can't do that now. Like a gang. Like this dude here, the ace, that's like, okay, bud. He's one of them, I can tell. Monosyllabic, 2-word response, getting mad because I'm calling out illiteracy. That's a functional illiterate. Yep, no internal dialogue, no ability to translate that internal dialogue into communication. Yeah, it's fucked. It's like what used to be pretty clear and open communication in the like chat room format has become like unga bunga, bro. Just full blown unga bunga. And some nights, like tonight, it's not that bad. Some nights it's way worse than even this. And it's like, I'm not like your English teacher, okay? I'm not gonna like grade every comment, but it's just like, if you try, it's just funny because you're mad RN. This is what I'm talking about, bro. You type like a cave person. You see what I mean? You're mad RN. You're mad RN. No, it's just because you're mad RN. And it's like, fuck, bro. Case in point. Case in point, bro. And there's just like no fucking excuse to sound retarded. Like the device that you're watching this on and typing on will correct for you and make you not look like a retard. I don't know how the show's going to handle the time jumps and stuff. We'll see. Paul, you mentioned on DP that you're a fan of Nintendo Capri Sun. You like any other early Let's Players? That whole era has great YouTubers who are still active. Yeah. I like Nintendo Capri Sun. I used to watch a guy called... I don't remember. I don't know. Like, it's been a while since I've been into Let's Plays. H.C. Bailey? That's another dude I've watched a long time. He does a lot of, like, Japanese RPG playthroughs and stuff. Oh, man, staring into the fucking darkness, bro. Oh, Jesus. Staring straight into the fucking darkness. Grown-ass fucking people that can't communicate. Grown-ass people that type like they're fucking 3. Oh, my God. I've literally got 7-year-old niece that is better spoken than most of you. I know for 100% fact that most of you are like in your 20s. Mind-blowing, bro. It's like, how do you fix that? How do you fix a generation of illiteracy? Like, at least a whole generation of people who never learned to communicate. No internal dialogue, no syntax. Just like truncating things like they're typing on T9, like they're typing on an old Nokia brick. You are all the like crappy shit that people used to do for text. You're doing that on your phone that autocorrects syntax. Why? It's like you have to turn it off on purpose so that you look retarded. Yeah, like I understood people typing that way with T9. No, it's really not cool to type that way. It isn't. It makes you look retarded. Yeah, like T9, shortening things, using the RU instead of AREYOU, right? That made sense because it was just quicker. But after careful consideration, I'm glad I'm not 20 in this generation. Yeah. I mean, it's still quicker, lol. It really wouldn't be, though, if you installed the Grammarly shit. Automatically cleans everything up for you and makes you look smarter than you are. And the fact that nobody uses it lets me know that they are invested in looking as retarded as the next guy. Misery loves company. You have Grammarly, then why didn't it fix its own name? You just misspelled the fucking thing. Grammarly. Yep, I am the grammar police, bud. And that's not how you spell grammar. Grammar police, restless mind, and cannot get. I'm giving all I've got, well then. Yeah, that's the thing is like, I'm giving people a fucking benefit of the doubt by going like get Grammarly because like if you've got an iPhone, I don't know. It's been a couple of years, few years since I had an Android phone, but if you've got an iPhone, does it? iPhone auto corrects grammar and shit. It'll be like, oh, this is wrong. Bloop 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 bloop. So you, like when you go to hit send comment, it doesn't look like you fucking just crawled out of a cave wearing a fucking mammoth pelt. You know what I mean? This guy's always in a bad mood. Nah, not even true, bro. That's cap, as you kids say. Don't cap. Paul, it's not that serious. No, it really is. An entire generation of people that type like they're fucking cave people and have no internal fucking dialogue, that is a problem. Yeah, it is pretty serious. People that can't read can't interact positively with any system. Let's move on already. I'll help you. Somebody help Justin move on. He's tired of the topic and doesn't know how to scroll up. Go like this, Justin. I'll have one of my mods escort you to the next room. No, he won't do it. Okay. Why you gotta be so mean, man? Durr. Good night, sweet prince. Good night, sweet prince. What's your least favorite race? Funnily enough, I don't categorize human beings by race in my mind. It's interesting. Yeah. Thought she took the train to Mars. She's out there counting stars. It's a good one. Chat is awful tonight, bro. There are people like when I cover this topic, when I'm like, damn, dude, young people are hella retarded, can't speak, can't talk, can't communicate, have no social skills, no internal dialogue, nothing going on upstairs because they just didn't learn basic syntax and grammar in the 4th fucking grade. When I go on that, it's like it draws out people. People feel seen immediately, and they're like, you're stupid. You know what I mean? They don't like they'll make up like they don't care, but they know, right? Like people will act like Lamau IDK because it's faster, lol, but they know they can't talk like a human. They know that if like they need to talk to an adult, they don't know how to do it, and so they feel called. They feel called out, and so when I call out bad grammar, it actually makes it worse. Because the dumb people watching that just got fucked up because they didn't get a good education and shit, they feel seen and they start typing more. And it just deepens the sorrow, you know what I mean? Because their attempts to flail and defend themselves just reveal that I'm correct. That a whole generation of people cannot communicate like human beings. Or adults. Fuck human beings. Adults. Isn't that dehumanization? Absolutely not. No. It's a fundamental lack of knowledge and education. I'm fine with bruh. Like, not everything has to sound like it came out of a fucking Victorian novel or something, but I bet you get off on doing that, don't you? Kinda, yeah. Like when people are stupid and they're flailing and they're big mad because I've just spoken the truth. Yeah, I do get off on that. Then there are parents that don't teach their children. Yeah, they don't speak to their children. You can see it all the time. It's like people will say, oh, you're being a boomer, you're being this. It's like, dude, go out in public and count how many kids you see that 20 years ago would have been running around talking to other kids, talking to their parents, interacting with the world, that are now just like sitting there like, what do you think that does to a child's brain that's developing? Like, you realize like 6 to 16 is the developmental age when you learn how to communicate with adults, you learn how to communicate as an adult. Like, if you don't pick up the fundamentals then and you get past 16, it's pretty downhill for you. Are you stickler? I'm not even a hard stickler. I don't need everything, like I said, to be Oxford English Dictionary approved. But there are levels of ability to communication. You know what I mean? And I see so many adults now that are below the level of communication needed to function in society. And see, like, here's one here. Letty felt called out. So Letty decided to make a fat comment. You sound a lot like my mom. Yeah, you should probably listen to your mom. Your mom's probably worried because you sound like a monosyllabic retard, and she wonders what she did wrong raising you. The answer is she let you on the fucking tablet too much. She let you play Fortnite too much. And you never learned how to speak. You're expecting too much from the chat? No, I don't think I am. Basic communication skills, I don't think that's expecting too much for a group of people who should be over 18. I clicked the little button that said it's not for people under 18, so my presumption is that the bullshit scrolling by is written by people who have been through school. And if that's the case, yikes, bro. Yikes, in a big way. Yikes. You ain't no philosopher, bud. Well, if I'm not, nobody is. Gatekeeping philosophy is one of the silliest things that people do. It typically means they took philosophy 101 in college and they think they know something you don't. Everyone is a philosopher. Everyone has a life philosophy that they apply. Everyone has a personal communication philosophy that they apply. Everyone can communicate it in a basic way. Everybody's a philosopher or nobody is. There's no gatekeep on philosophy. A lot of the most popular philosophers that you'll see quoted had no formal education. So why are we applying that layer now? Calls them like I sees them. You know what I mean? People can get mad about it. People can get angry about it. Call me a grammar Nazi and probably spell grammar wrong while they do it. But it doesn't change the truth. When your child is spending more time looking at a phone or a tablet or playing a video game than they are interacting with you as their parents or their siblings or their friends or their schoolmates, you're going to raise a child with profound social difficulty. Profound. Do you have kids? No. Thank goodness, no. I don't know how I would cope with having kids now, to be honest with you, at this point in my life. I don't know how I would rationalize only having 30 more years to live and having this child that I'm releasing into this fucking insane world, trying to prep them for that without being a crazy fuck. Yeah, I don't even know how I would walk that tightrope. What if they're just autistic? Then the worst thing that you can possibly do is plop them down in front of a fucking screen and let them continue to not develop social skills. People with autism can function profoundly well in society, given their diagnosis. But they need their parents and their teachers and their educators to be on top of it. If your kid's autistic and they throw a fit when you take away the phone, you need to institute some rules in your house. And it's like, there's zero excuse now. Back in the day, my parents, like, when we first got the internet, it's like they had no fucking clue what was going on the internet. And they had very few tools, if any at all, to make sure I wasn't looking at certain things or doing certain things. It's like now, if you give your kid a tablet, right? Let's say you get them a fucking iPad. When you set up that iPad, it's like, would you like to turn on parental controls? And you click a big green button that says yes. And then it says, would you like to set a time limit for usage? And you say yes. And then you put how much time should a user be able to use? And you say 1 hour a day. And then you hit the big green OK button, and then your kid can't get on the fucking tablet 24/7, 365. That's all it is. Big green monkey button that says, would you like to protect your child from fucking like being a social outcast? And you hit yes. And that's it. Why is it a monkey button? Because a monkey could press it. You could train a monkey to set up parental controls on iPhones all day. He hit the right monkey button, he get banana. He hit the wrong monkey button, he no get banana. It's literally monkey level work to set up parental controls on a device so that your child's not on it 24/7.
You can use your device to pull up a YouTube video to show you step by step.
Yeah. It's a monkey button. It doesn't require like you putting in the local IP address and editing your fucking permissions and shit at the fucking switch level. Like, it's not like it was 10 years ago. Now when you get the iPhone, it comes on and it says, "Hi, monkey. Hi. Would you like to set up your monkey phone?" And you hit, "Yeah. What language do monkeys speak?" "English. Do monkey have children?" "Yes. Would monkey like to set up phone so that children no go crazy?" "Yes." Bloop.
Or you cracked your dad's passcode
Give me
because
a
he did it your birth year or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking stupid. Your dad's stupid. "Hi, monkey. This new phone. You want your child to be stupid zombie?" "No." It's literally like my granny could do it, bro. If my granny came back to life right now, she never held a smartphone before she died. I could hand her one, and she'd set up parental controls. Guaranteed. My granny could do it. There ain't no excuse when I see people running around with their little shit eaters glued to a phone, and then when they try and take it, there's a fit. Bro, I told you guys the story the last time I went and got my hair cut. It blew my mind. I felt so sorry for the poor bastard and yet so angry that he had ruined his children. He had a kid that clearly was on the spectrum somewhere, sitting in the middle of the barber shop while dad got a haircut, looking at his tablet and playing some fucking Pixar movie at max volume. Bloop, 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 bloop. And it was just like some skibbity shit, bro. Some full ass skibbity shit. And he kept going like, Zachary, 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 you need to turn that down, Zachary. And the kid was just like off on a different, he was on planet fucking X, bro. Kid was just like, the voice wasn't even there. Then when Dad got up from the haircut, he tried to take the tablet away from Zachary, and Zachary immediately started screaming and throwing a fit until Dad handed it back, and Zachary put it right back up to max volume, and they walked out. Zachary is ruined. Zachary is a ruined child. He was 9 or 10 and threw a fucking screaming mad fit when his dad tried to take his fucking tablet from him for 5 seconds. Cooked. And those people are grown up now. Zachary was 10. There are 20-year-olds that were raised the same way now, and they're out there in the world. And they can't do shit. They can't talk, they can't speak, they can't read, they can't write, they can't communicate. So what's the fucking deal? What are we gonna do? Like I say it all the time, and I'm not even trying to be mean about it, dude. I feel like I was a better communicator in 4th grade than a lot of 20-somethings that I read their fucking comments and shit. In the 4th grade, I would have been able to see the problems with a sentence and fix them. People can't do that anymore. Go to like a teacher subreddit. Go to r substitute teacher or r teachers and read the top comments from this year and tell me that I'm alone. Tell me teachers are boomers too. The ones that are out there working with the kids and realizing that they're teaching 5th grade and their 5th grade class reads at a kindergarten level. And they've got 5th grade curriculum sitting in front of them that requires that those kids read. Go read it. I didn't write it all. Go read it. What do you think that's about? You think that's just boomer shit too? I think the people whose job it is to teach kids to read, saying that kids are coming fucking 3, 4, 5 grade levels behind. I just, like, what I'm waiting for, and there's a bunch I can guarantee you about to drop, is these long-term studies on exposure to devices. Oh, we're gonna find out exactly how fucked we are. We're gonna find out. What's the difference between a kid that has 1 hour a day on devices versus a kid with unrestricted access? And it is gonna be shocking. That's one of the new things. If you're online and you notice the trends and stuff right now, if you type out something that's cogent, that has commas and complete sentences and stuff, you will get an answer, a reply from somebody that says, bruh, stop yapping, right? And this is how people are dealing with the fact that they don't have the attention span or the ability to read a paragraph. And so it's the new TLDR. Bruh, stop yapping. Bruh is yapping, y'all, lol. And it's like, yeah, that's what human beings do. We yap. And when you never learn how to yap in grade school, you sound like a retard outside of grade school. You see? Yeah, it's not that deep, dude. You yap too much, dude. And it's like, you type like a fucking 3-year-old, bro. You don't think that's a problem? Hey, yo! Fucking 30? You're actually right about that, Paul. People think the proper sentence structure and grammar is showing off these days. I know. It's like, I learned how to write in the 4th grade. That's a show off now. It's like, fuck, bro. See Stanley in here with his little monosyllabic fucking reply? Shut up. That's all he's got, bro. Grown ass man, too. Grown ass man. Shut up. It's like, no, bitch. It's like I think about my dad all the time. When I was like 7, we drove by a sign that said slow, children at play. And he went, I was like, what's so funny? He's like, slow children at play. And then I fucking thought about it for a second. He had to explain to me that slow meant retarded. That was a nice way back in the 80s of saying somebody was retarded. And now that sign lives rent-free in my fucking head. Slow children at play. That's basically Gen Alpha. This is the wrong place to judge people's grammar. No, it isn't. You've got, like I just explained it to everybody, you've got a phone that will auto-correct your grammar for you. There's no excuse for it. Oh, the like shit? Bro, that used to be horrible back in like the 80s. There was this Valley Girl kind of infestation that happened where everything was like. You had to like use like as a modifier. Everything is like. It's like, dude, there's this, I don't know, like these are fucking outliers. You can't judge a whole generation by one clip. You guys know that podcast, that like whatever podcast or whatever, where they'll have like a dude on and then they'll have like a sex worker chick on and they'll try and make her look, like they'll try and like convince her that what she's doing is like degenerate or whatever, right? There was some chick on that. There's a clip and it's just like tragic, bro. Chick is super hot, right? And the guy is talking to her about relationships, and she goes, see, that's what I don't like about this. It's like it's like I think about it like when a guy is like, I don't even know. It's like, you know, like the guy like can't like, and then the girl like, well, like it's like no, because it's like, hold on, it's like when a guy is like, it's like, and it's just like, this woman is easily 20 something, so out of high school. Was she blonde? Nope. Brunette. Cute as the Dickens, but dumber than a fucking bag of hammers, bro. Like fucking, like, you know, like guy, like, it's like, I just used like, right? It's like, using like is okay. It's okay as a little language modifier. It's like an or an but when that's all you can get out when somebody asks you a question, you got problems, bro. It's like, Haley Walsh isn't dumb. People think she's just a hick. You're talking about the Hawktua girl? Yeah, I mean, she held her own against fucking boomer ass Bill Maher. Yeah, the IDK. Like, why do you have to type that? That is the weirdest shit to me. It's like one thing to say when you're trying to like land on a symbol. Why would you go like IDK, like IDK? It's like, why are you typing your fucking retarded internal dialogue? Why do you feel the need to type with like 22 M's to me? Like ugh, like ugh, like IDK, like IDK, like It's like, why am I reading this? What? You're typing though. Why don't you just take the time? You don't have to say You're typing. You're texting to people. You don't have to. You can wait and go, what do I want to say in the text? Yeah, I would like to go out on Friday. You don't have to go, oh, let's see. Do you want to go out Friday? IDK, lol. Bloop. What? Oh, I love that. I love it when people literally type the 3 question marks because they don't know what you just talked about. It's like, oh my God, bro. And you're sitting on the internet where you can just Google anything. Like all of human knowledge is at your fingertips. You literally don't even have to type it. You can just hit a button on your phone and go like, hey Siri, can you tell me what the fucking law of averages means? But instead you type, IDK question mark, question mark, question mark. It's like, why don't you just type, get rid of with the H's and learn to type 3 words, okay? 4, how about 4 words? I am a retard. It's way more direct. I am retarded. I literally can't ask Siri about this, so I'm going to type question marks and IDK. IDK, lol. Am I talking to a fucking 13-year-old? People just want to irritate the older generations. It's working. Nice cope. Nice cope. Yeah, we're all pretending to be retarded. We got every teacher in the nation fooled. It's just a troll. We're actually geniuses. Nice cope. Don't think so though. Yeah, being stupid is cool because everybody's stupid. Nobody wants somebody to talk in a way that makes them feel stupid. So there's social pressure for people to communicate like cave people. Yep, there's like a fucking strong anti-intellectualism, and anti-intellectualism is always based in like insecurity about one's own intellect. So when somebody displays to you, demonstrates to you that they can speak, that they have a command of the language, that they have a command of syntax and prose, there's a baseline assumption of intelligence. And when you can't do that, it creates confusion and anger. right? Because people don't like it's like have you ever seen a child that was neglected that doesn't speak but they're way older than they should be? There are videos that you can watch of psychological studies of these types of children. They get frustrated because of their inability to communicate. So at like 6 or 7, you'll have a kid going, and you'll ask them, use your words. And they'll just burst into tears because they can't put it together. And this is, you know, a more extreme example of what the average young person coming out of high school is experiencing. Like they see somebody communicating on a basic adult level, and their brain just shuts down, and they get mad and they get angry. They'll say like, "IDK, law, shut up, this guy, boomer, and anybody else, blah, blah," you know what I mean? It's just like gobbledygook, right? And I'm telling you, man, nobody sees it more than people that work in this fucking job. Like the lack of communication skills, especially if you've been, because I've been on the internet since there was an internet, right? So I have the whole overview of the entirety of the commercial internet. And I'm telling you, the level on which people communicate on the internet now is the lowest that I've ever seen. Like the amount of information portrayal, or the amount of information relaying that's going on in the average fucking YouTube comment or Twitter comment or reply is fucking staggering. Staggering. And the reason it's a problem is because if you can't communicate, you can't share your human experience. Yep, speech pathologists and, you know, people that intercede and people with learning disabilities, they're in demand more than ever. And working harder than ever to try and fill the gaps that parents and the educational system are clearly not capable of filling. Do you have any solutions? Not asking as a gotcha, just genuinely curious. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be a sea change in parenting. That's where it starts. First and foremost, parents are going to have to start hitting the big green monkey button when they set up their children's devices and limiting them to half an hour a day, an hour a day worth of social media and skibbity bullshit. And then they've got other things to do. So that's step one. Step one is getting people talking to their children again and ripping their children away from these devices that are designed to psychologically manipulate and psychologically sterilize a person's mind. So that's step one. Parents have to start hitting the big green yes button instead of the no button when their monkey phone tells them, do you want to set up phone right, monkey? Stop hitting no. Hit the big green yes. Did limiting TV time help other generations? Yes. You can actually look at the long-term studies for children that were raised with profoundly over too much TV. Do you know what you see? Depression, anxiety, autism spectrum disorder, social problems, social promotions in school. All of that shit was way more prevalent in the kids that watched 6 hours of TV a day than in the kids whose parents limited them to half an hour or an hour. And those are all out. You can go look them up. Those long-term studies are out, and they are scientifically fucking backed. There's no debate in the community, in the psychological community, what TV did to a generation. Now you take TV and make it interactive and make it designed specifically to keep you skibbity scrolling. Wait another couple years when these first long-term 10-year studies of device addiction in children come out. You'll see. It's going to be staggering. I don't think watching TV causes autism. I don't think you can say that. I don't think that you can say that not properly socializing your children doesn't lead to ASD. You certainly can't say that it doesn't lead to worse cases of ASD. I don't think you can say that at all. What's ASD? Autism spectrum disorder. ASD is something you're born with. If that is the case, then it is something that you're born with that can be made worse by a lack of social integration and socialization. So if you have a kid that's on the spectrum and you raise them to sit in front of a fucking tablet all day, that kid is probably going to have worse symptoms of autism than a kid whose parents talked to them and forced them to learn to integrate, forced them to learn to socialize, gave them a good baseline for talking. Yeah, see, here's another guy that's mad that I'm calling out his fucking illiteracy. And he's going to say I'm yapping. See? This is what I'm talking about. I just said it earlier. He might have just breezed in and doesn't know that. Maybe he wasn't listening 5 minutes ago when I said when people get mad about being illiterate, they will type out a comment with the word yapping in it. But there you go. How am I illiterate, dude? Because I don't believe you have an internal dialogue. I don't believe that you have proper syntax. I don't believe that you communicate at the level that you should given your age, which is, I'm assuming, early 20s. You type like you're maybe 12, 11. Like if I had to guess just from your syntax and your grammar, I'd say you're maybe 11 years old, but I bet you're about 22. That's illiteracy. That's what we call functional illiteracy. And we're graduating. You can look this up. Functional illiterates. You are a functional illiterate. You can sound it out, but you can't really get it.
Brownies are out.
Oh, I smelled them when you came out. Yep. No comma before dude, lowercase I, improper capitalization. That's 3 marks on one sentence. Where you at, bud? I don't hear your mouth anymore. Just because I misspelled a couple of words doesn't make me illiterate. That comma was unnecessary. There should be an apostrophe and doesn't. There should be a comma before jack off, and your I should be capitalized as a proper pronoun. But other than that, good one. Nice try. See what I mean? Functional illiterate. Didn't learn what I learned in 4th grade. Here's where you put a comma. Here's where you put an apostrophe. Here's where you capitalize I, and here's where you use a lowercase. You see? Why don't you make an actual argument, Yapper? Why don't you take your own fucking advice, kid? I'm in here dunking on your fucking bitch ass, and you're looking a little desperate. You're looking a little desperate. Not one sentence yet that's proper, that wouldn't have red squiggly lines on your fucking paper, dude. If I was grading your comments, you'd be having probably like a C- right now for syntax. There'd be red pen markups everywhere on every comment you make. You don't think that's a problem? You don't think that makes you look retarded to adults that do know how to read? I don't know how to fucking convince you of that, bro. Grammar police, yep. Get used to it. If you type like a retard, I'm going to assume you're retarded. Sorry. Do you agree that you can be autistic, badly socialized, and still contribute to society? I believe that you struggle to contribute to society versus somebody who is properly socialized with the same autism diagnosis. I think that your contribution to society is going to be far less. It's probably going to be shitty, chibi anime doodles. That'll probably be what your contribution to society is. So yeah, I think that if you're properly socialized, you have a better chance of contributing positively to your community than if you're not. What else am I supposed to judge you by other than your fucking ability to communicate? Like if I'm trying to say, am I talking to a retard right now or am I talking to a grown adult? And you type IDK, and you misspell everything and fucking everything, you know? Like what am I supposed to assume? That's a smart person right there. That's a real intelligent thinker right there. That's a person that knows what's what. Am I supposed to think that when I see you typing like a retard? Like how am I supposed to do that? Why don't you help me? So when I see somebody that types like an ape, am I supposed to assume that like, oh, that's probably a real smart person behind that? What should I base that assumption on? On what should I base the assumption that you're smart when you type like an ape? I'll wait. Fuck contributing to society. You're a member of your generation, sir. You won't be able to anyway, so don't worry about it. You'll drain it. You'll be a drain on it. Look at, dude, I've cleaned up your fucking shit. Look at you, sick physic. I've cleaned up your shit. Your commas are looking good. That I, though, you're still not capitalizing that I. I actually agree grammar and syntax are important, but you're just reaching because you're easily offended jackass. I'm the one easily offended? I was just saying that kids aren't learning to read. You've been in here having a fucking full-blown meltdown. But your grammar is getting better because of the call-out. So I feel good about that. You're actually paying attention when you type now. It's cute. It's cute to watch you try. But it stands. Let's just say my criticism stands of you and everybody else that can't type. But good job, though. That last comment would have fewer red marks on it, fewer red squiggles. I might give you a B- on that one. Out here doing fucking free education. Touchscreen is a bitch to type on. Deal with it. Just because the touchscreen is kind of like not the easiest way to type doesn't mean you should present yourself as a monosyllabic retard everywhere. If you don't present yourself as a retard, people will treat you with better respect and be more likely to like answer your questions and engage with you as an adult. Versus what I assume sometimes is that, God, I hope this person's like fucking 12 or 13. Even then, they're lagging, but that would be an excuse. Why should we value contributing society? I don't like shoulds. You value what you want. I personally would like to be a guy that gives a little bit before he goes. That's a personal thing of mine. You don't have to have that. I'm not in your head. You want to live a purposeless life? It's your life to live. You want to live a dark life where nobody ever takes you seriously because you don't know how to capitalize shit? None of my business. I'm just going to call it like I see it. I'm going to treat you accordingly. There's no reason why I shouldn't. Nobody's been able to demonstrate to me why I should assume intelligence when somebody types like a monkey. Life is ultimately purposeless. Welcome to fucking Nihilism 101, bro. You're gonna have to go a little deeper than that. Most of us know that we live in a deterministic universe. Most of us have been aware of that for, well, I know I've been aware of it for at least 2.5 decades, 3 decades of my life. Misspelled character. Gonna have to put a red squiggle on that one. That's a C-. You really are trying hard though, and I give you that. At least you're trying. Maybe you'll be okay in a few years if you keep trying.
You want me to leave him and let him keep trying?
No, let him get him out of here.
Okay.
He's done. I'm starting to feel bad. So he can go. Explain what deterministic means to you. So a deterministic universe means that it's basically like the easiest way to put it is free will does not exist. So everything happens according to the actions and reactions of something else, right? So you are a Nazi. You are not a Nazi in a vacuum. You didn't come to that position on your own. You were raised around people who fomented that kind of ideal in your head or didn't properly combat it. You were exposed to the wrong kind of people at the wrong times in your life. And those choices ultimately were not yours. No, it's the opposite of everything is planned. Everything is deterministic.
Nothing can be planned.
Right.
You have no choice over what opportunities are in front of you.
Exactly. You have a range of choice given your circumstance, but you being in that circumstance had nothing to do with you. You didn't choose to be born where you were born. You didn't choose to be raised how you were raised. You didn't choose to have a failed education or a good education. None of those things were on your plate. And all of those things profoundly affect who and what you are. So this idea that you just have got all this choice in your life is an illusion. When did I say that because you don't have free will, there's no such thing as accountability? You're putting words into my mouth. You take accountability for your actions. That doesn't mean that you had any fucking say in the situation that put you, like the situation that you were in when you took the action. Like, that's the point, right? All right, well, how much agency and autonomy does a kid starving to death in Ethiopia have? Can he do anything? Can the kid with the distended belly being followed around by a vulture in Ethiopia with flies all over his face and too weak to brush them away, does he have agency? Can he do anything? Is his agency diminished as a human being because he has no prospects, no food, no education? Does he have agency in that? What agency does that little starving child have? We can all, that's not an extreme in the world though. I'm not calling out an extreme, I'm calling out the third world. What agency does a child raised in the third world have?
What agency do all those kids in Palestine have?
Yep. What agency do the children whose body parts are laying all over Palestine right now? What agency did they have? Can they do anything? Do they have free will? Or did they have determinism imposed upon them? It's one or the other. His free will has nothing to do with that. His free will has nothing to do with his choice. What choice does he have but to die and starve? And you think you're different? You think circumstances are different for you? What? Because you're on the internet? Because you have a phone?
You didn't pick any of the people you were exposed
Nope.
to as a kid.
You didn't pick your children. You didn't pick your friends. You didn't pick your fucking geography. You didn't pick your religion. You didn't pick your social upbringing. You didn't pick your language. None of that. But somehow you've got all this choice. Your conditions do not fully determine your path, but they fully determine your options. That's the point.
How you decide is also out
Right.
of your control.
Right. That kid that's starving to death in Ethiopia right now is not going to be Bill Gates. There's no path to that for him. He's going to starve to death in a week. And that's the only choice he's got, to sit there and waste away until his body gives out. That's not a free will universe. He can't manifest anything in his life. And that's the third world. You didn't choose to be the type to talk big and then backtracks constantly? What? Excuse me? Say what? Yeah, I mean, this is just like, the fact that there are so many people that don't get this underscores the whole talk I just had for the last hour. This is basic shit that adults should have their mind wrapped around. This is about like thinking about the human experience and understanding it to a limited extent. And the fact that there are so many people in here that can't is just illustrative of the illiteracy that I was talking about earlier.
Like, the whole free will argument is like making people responsible for sin so that they have to go to whatever deity for forgiveness or whatever.
The argument of human free will is an entirely religious argument because it makes you responsible for things so that God can punish you for it. But any God would know that you had no choice in being what you are. So, self-refuting is what we call that. 100% convinced of determinism.
But at least if you'd made that argument, you'd show that you understand the argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you would have made, instead of going like, I don't think I have choice, instead of saying that, if you'd said, you know, God gives you free will or something, I would at least understand that you get what I'm saying. But I will tell you right now that the 10 or 15 people that responded to me out of ignorance of what I'm even saying. So they didn't even know the argument as presented. And they wanted to argue against it. You know what I mean? This is an example of what happens when you don't learn to read and write. You're limited in your ability to conceptualize things outside of your own purview. Severely limited. Not just like hampered a little bit, you got to work a little harder. You are severely hampered if you can't read. If you can't write, then you can't talk with me about this in any way other than me just correcting you over and over, you know? But there's like 15 people in here that tried without even understanding the argument to defeat it. Fucked. Reading comprehension is part of reading. That's the entire point of reading, is so that you can comprehend language. Nope. Morality is not a concept that can be objectively defined without religion. Kant's categorical imperative is just an intellectualized free will argument. But it falls to the same counter arguments. ChatGPT, no, it doesn't. You think ChatGPT, you think if you go like, help me not sound retarded, and type that in, that's fixing the problem?
You need to be able
You need to
articulate
know,
to
exactly.
prompt it.
You need to know why what you typed is retarded. And if you just put it in ChatGPT and pretend to not be retarded, you will be revealed to be retarded eventually.
ChatGPT is only as good as the question you ask.
Right. And it's only as good as your ability to understand the syntax that it spits out.
And to be able to understand if it needs to make a correction or expand on a point.
You being retarded is not fixed by ChatGPT. SMH. There it is again. Are you on T9? Are you on a Nokia brick? Because if you're not, I don't know why you're typing SMH. It's not really an argument, to be fair. It's just a set of claims and then incredulity. Yeah, that's a good one, bro. That's a good one, bro. What?
People that don't know rhetorical questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. But that's just part of this. I mean, we're on step one, trying to convince a lot of these people that they have no reading comprehension. We can't go 2 steps deep in until we get to that point. And it's a pointless effort for me because I'm not a trained teacher and I don't have the time to bring you up to speed from the 4th grade till now. So there's really nothing I can do. I'm just talking past the people that need to hear this shit. Because they don't even have a concept that a deeper world exists. Serious question, do you believe in Sasquatch or any other cryptids? Yeah, bud, I do. Maybe not Sasquatch, but I believe that there's some shit on this planet, probably in the deep ocean, that is like wild, right? I don't know if I'm like a jackalope guy or a skunk ape guy. Like, it's fun to think about those things, but I feel like a giant race of ape men would have been discovered at this point. You know, somebody would have caught one, found a dead one, you know, something. But we know more about the surface of the moon and Mars than we know about the bottom of our own oceans. Something like,
well, like the
10%.
giant squid was considered a cryptid until like 15 years ago or some shit.
Yep. So I mean, we've looked at like 10% maybe of the ocean floor and categorized maybe like 3 or 4% of the life in it. There's shit down there that's mind blowing. It's hard to get down that deep. I know. I watched the fucking documentary that what's his name made.
James Cameron?
Yeah, James Cameron, where he put I think it was like an Omega watch, the Omega dive watch on the outside, or was it a Rolex or something, to prove that it could handle the bottom of the ocean pressure. And he took a fucking super specialized diving thing down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. Oh yeah, dude. I've been fascinated with the ocean since I was a kid. There's something about the immensity of it. When you're standing on the edge of it, you just can't help but be affected by it. When I'm near it, I just feel called into it. It's like, I know that like my ancestors were seafaring because I feel that. Like there's something about me that just wants to be out on a fucking water, out on the boat. It's because you're a whale. Oh man, that's clever. Got a favorite ocean creature? I mean, yeah, I like the elephant squid is really cute. I like those fucking weird angler fish that have like the big teeth and they just sit on the bottom and they like move that little thing around till a fish comes by and then they're like.
The mating of them's really weird too.
Yeah, the way that like the male just like hooks onto them.
Well, he like gets absorbed into them, and it's just like a little pair of like sperm producing things.
Yeah.
Or the sunfish.
The purposeless fish.
I wouldn't call it deep sea though.
No, well, I mean, I think it is a deep sea fish, but it comes up sometimes. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Well, it's called a sunfish because it goes up to the top and suns.
I see. The Ogopogo, yeah, I've heard of that. That's like supposed to be like an African, like Brontosaurus type dinosaur, like a long necked dinosaur. The Ogopogo, I've heard of him. I don't know, maybe, like, if they're gonna find some shit like that, it will be in Africa. Or maybe, I don't know, South America, but, like, those are the two areas that, like, humans just haven't really touched much of it. So maybe there's a dinosaur out there, but I doubt it, bro. I'm still a gamer, bro. I love games. In fact, I think I'm gonna go play some video right now. I don't know what I'll play, but I think I'm done talking. Smoked enough cigarettes. Sat out here enough. Still sweaty. Anyway.